All right, I'm Deb LaMotta. This is Out of the Attic live from Delaware, and it is the Unexplained Discovery night with the paranormal investigation team of George, Tony, and Karen. Hello, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I am well, thank you. And just before we get started, we are going to be talking, or they are going to be talking, I'm going to be learning about cryptids. And if you jump over to, or down below, if you're listening, just jump down below to the video player and you will see some of the different cryptids that, that they'll be speaking about. All right, George, take it away.
All right, I will let Tony bring us up to speed and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Excellent, George. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Cryptids, they're creatures or entities whose existence is claimed but not scientifically proven. There's actually a study out there, cryptozoology. It's actually a field that investigates mysterious or hidden animals. There's different types. They all a human or an ape. Then you have sea or lake-like cryptids, like the Loch Ness Monster. Typically described as large aquatic reptiles or serpents. Then we have flying cryptids, like the Mothman that we talked about, in the preview, the Jersey Devil. They're winged creatures often tied to supernatural or evil or mysterious events. And then we had the reptile or dinosaur-like cryptids, the chupacabra and the lizard man. And then we had the mystical hybrids, like the goat man or the dog man, which combines either a human and an animal-like creature. So again, these are things that people have witnessed, but we have not been able to prove it or document it. George, I think you and Karen both have some examples, a little bit more history on a couple of these. Am I correct?
Yeah. I was looking at one today. Texas has 12 creatures in Texas that people say they've seen.
Wow.
That's a lot of creatures in one place.
But I'm not surprised it's Texas.
Oh, there you go. I mean, they have what almost looks like cartoon characters. It's called Donkey Lady. I haven't heard of that. They have one Lake Worth monster. Never heard of that. I heard of Skinwalker. I heard of that.
Yeah, Skinwalkers, yes.
Yeah, then they have Beast of Bear Creek. Never heard of that.
Wow.
Yeah, then they have one Bear King of Marble Falls. It's just Hogzilla. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
I don't know how to come up with some of these names, I was just listening to something just recently, the Skinwalkers. They're those shape-shifting creatures. A lot of folklore behind that, either through supernatural or witchcraft. You hear claims about those more frequently, I think, than you do. I don't know. It's probably tied with the Bigfoot or Sasquatch type, creature that everybody says they see in the woods. But between those two, I think they're the most popular type cryptids out there. Yeah.
I mean, each state has.
Yeah, I'm here. I think what's kind of cool though is that cryptids aren't just like the United States just doesn't have them. It's like the world.
Yeah, they're all
over the world. I mean, it's like Fiji. They have the Fiji merman. Well, we have the Zwanendaelen merman that's from Lewis that people have seen outside of Lewis at the beaches. So who knows if we have mermen or not?
I've never heard that before. I've been in Delaware all my life, and I never heard that one before. Wow.
Yeah, Karen told me a couple of weeks ago about that. I was like, what?
Yeah. I just thought when I saw the Christmas ornaments with the mermen that it was just a Rehoboth Lewis thing. I just thought maybe that was just the way that people celebrated certain things. But then when I found out that there's cryptids, then it was like, whoa.
So, George, we know now on weekends if we don't know where Karen is, she's out at the beach now looking for him.
That's right. I'm looking for the merman. Not the mermaid.
That's only 20
He wants to be the one that witnesses it the first time.
I can't. Oh, my God. That's right. Delaware might be small, but we're mighty. Oh, my God, Karen. That's funny. That's good.
Yeah, Yeah, and it really got to me though that it's not, like when we were kids and stuff, we always heard about mermaids.
Right.
But whoever heard of a merman?
Right?
I need a merman in my life. I gotta go look this sucker up.
But they did say that, like, just as recent as like last year, it was spotted out in Lewis. I don't know who spotted it, where they're sitting to spot it, but I think I'm going to do a little investigation.
I bet you will.
I'm coming down, Karen. I'll bring the coffee.
Yeah, sure. We can go sit on the beaches.
I like it.
Deb, if you want to come in an aquarium and bring it to my house.
Oh my gosh, Karen, that's good.
Anyway,
Do either of you guys have anything on the Jersey Devil by any chance? Because I don't know much about the Jersey Devil. That's right next door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's also one in Maryland. I think it's running on the video which one that was as well. It's like, oh, look at that. It's funny. I didn't come across the merman, but I did come across the one that's known over in Maryland. Let's see if I can catch the.
Yeah. So the Jersey Devil looks more like a flying creature, almost like it could be a cross between a dinosaur and even like the Loch Ness Monster, where the Loch Ness Monster, what they were like, it was kind of like a prehistoric dinosaur kind of figure, but this is like, it's like with wings.
Yeah, when I hear Jersey Devil, I'm thinking the Tasmanian Devil that you see in Bugs Bunny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not. And they say that it's found it says it inhabits the forests and pine barrens of South Jersey. So wherever that would be in South Jersey.
Wow. We used to go
It
camping.
says in South Jersey and Philadelphia folklore is what it is. Yeah.
So we got Texas, South Jersey, and Philadelphia. That should tell you something, right?
Right. It's
Now, I'm looking on here, Tony. It's Texas, California, Iowa, Florida, Arkansas, Arizona, Kentucky, Kansas, Ohio, Canada, Colorado, Iowa, South Carolina,
Even Hawaii has one.
Puerto Rico, Missouri, and South. I don't see Connecticut in there.
No.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, Connecticut. You're gonna like this. Connecticut has what they call melon heads. So we'll have to really see what they look like.
Of course.
So let's see what a melon head is.
Oh, I gotta look that one up
Seems
too.
like one of these campers out there drinking and smoking who come up with things from there.
Oh my god.
Well, you see,
Anything like a
these
parrot
melon
head?
heads.
Oh, look at that.
These
Wow.
melon heads almost remind you of E.T.
Exactly.
Some of the pictures.
Yep.
Yeah, remind you of E.T. And then they have like these pictures with like these. I don't even know how to explain.
Well, they actually have.
odd.
Yeah, they are. But there's another reference here to punk rockers and the Melonhead. So over in Ohio, forget Connecticut. We're boring. Melonheads, damn Connecticut. Oh, look at that. There's even a freaking article.
Yeah, they say here that these mysterious melon heads are a folklore phenomenon, and it says it's small. They are small humanoids with abnormal large heads who live in secluded areas and sometimes attack people. So if anybody ever says they were attacked by a melon head,
Well,
I guess you got to believe them.
I guess so. But on top of that, now I don't know if you all know that I am from Connecticut, and so I just pulled up real quick here. There's an article that says growing up in Milford, one of the local stories that they all heard was about a group of giant-headed mutants who lived on the outskirts of town, a band of inbred freaks who were ready to prey deliverance style on whoever was careless or unfortunate enough to wander into their midst. They also mentioned Shelton, that's where I was living. I was like, oh, look at me. I'd rather come down to Delaware and the Merman. Thank you.
Me too.
I'm not going to get that up for you, Deb. If you find him, don't bring him to lunch, please.
It's been a long winter.
Our team has actually been called to be on sightings of Bigfoot, and also UFOs, totally different topic. We've never gone out and did any of those type of investigations, but you'd be surprised how many people have called us, asked us if we do studies on Bigfoot, and if we'd be willing to send people out to where they are. Most of those are along the Appalachian Trail like that. We haven't dove into that. So we do have one lady on our team, Axel. I'll give a shout out to Axel, who does study cryptids. She's really heavy into the Mothman theories and everything else, but we've never done anything. We never did any investigations against any cryptids, stuff like that ever came up doing anything we've done. But we have had calls to do that type of research, and people saying they claim to tall things. I'm waiting for the skinwalker. People out there who believe that they've seen skinwalkers. Waiting for that call. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I mean, people see things. It's not, you can't just dismiss it.
Right.
You have to, like you guys do, go out and investigate and see. I mean, we might be chuckling about all these things, but I'm thinking there is something that they have seen that has either resembled what they're talking about. And of course, people do, of course, make it bigger than it is sometimes. But again, unless you go out and you investigate and you look into whomever you have, who had called you about it, you never know. I mean, even with the, I'll go back to the Maryland one. His name is Chessie, actually. He has a name. I mean, and he looks like a sea urchin type fish. And, people see things, some people see what they want to see and make a bigger deal out of it, right? But, sometimes, what do we know? We don't know what's really all the way down at the bottom of the oceans and everything. And the same, we don't know what totally is out there, and we never will. So we, again, you're right?
Yep. Exactly. I think it is their reality. People who have played it really strongly believe it, and there has to be some base for that, that belief.
Yeah.
So again, and I totally agree with you. We don't know. We haven't even studied or researched enough of what's out in the ocean. So there's things out there, creatures that we don't even know about. And I definitely agree that there must be some, solid evidence behind some of this stuff. It's just us needing to find it.
Right.
And so, I get it.
And I think a lot of people dismiss it as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. With this ghost, that's our main line.
Yeah.
What we do, but they dismiss that just as easily. So,
right.
I think there has to be something. There has to be some type of foundation to why these things, and not just one person. It's more than one person. It's groups, it's communities who are coming up with this, and it's not just by word of mouth. But yeah, I definitely believe it's faithful to something.
Absolutely.
It's like
I know that probably about it had to be about 20 years ago now that my husband and I were at his father's, where they're in they lived in Oak Orchard, which is right off the Indian River Bay, and somebody had gone out fishing, and they had the picture of it, because we saw the picture of it, and it was a prehistoric fish, and it had the biggest, reddest lips I have ever seen. It was the most odd thing. But, you don't know what's out there because you don't know how deep the waters go. Yeah. And once they go so far, we can, us as humans can only go so deep.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, we can't see what's down there even further, but technology's getting better. So we're starting to find these things that we never knew existed. So you can't say just because
that's right
you didn't see it doesn't mean it isn't real.
Exactly.
It's like people to see ghosts. They don't want to say no because they think they're nuts, so they won't say anything.
Exactly.
So,
talking. Yeah.
Or people will just say, "Oh, that was just nothing that I saw," so they don't want to, go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're talking about actually finding the right evidence. I'm looking here at different ways that what is it called, like cryptozoology, the way they do the different studies. Of course, eyewitness reports. So I'm saying, hey, I found this, I saw this. But there's more and more physical evidence is coming up. The large footprints, either Bigfoot or reptile type shaped footprints. People have claimed to find hairs, that aren't, regular human hair.
Right.
And then there's the technology tools. I think Carrie mentioned about how technology is getting better. So the use of trail cams and drones are being used now to be able to capture, where we really can't get into if it's heavy brush or something like that. So I think it also says here cultural research is knowing more about the myths and the different histories of how these, stories began and how it's been spread since the first sighting.
Right.
So it's just employing all these different ways to be able to, prove what's out there, I think.
Yeah. And going back to Chessie over there in Maryland in the Chesapeake Bay waters, I mean, I like this. I'm on the newsmaryland.gov page, but when people see things out in the world, out in the water, out in the forest, I'll go back to what I said. We see what we see, and we think we see something else. But I like this because it's comparing. Excuse me. There's half man, half animal. The goat man. But if you look at the deer that they're have posted, you kind of can see where people see things that may be there or not there. But again, we don't know, but it could be, this is how it starts. This is what we see. And then it turns into something else that we aren't aware of. What's the other one here? Pretty cool things here. What's this guy name? A Wendigo, and these are over over in Maryland, and you can see the animals that kind of look like this crazy Wendigo animal, and this is where it starts from. We don't know what the process is or where it started from, because who just mentioned about folklore, how long ago things have where they started from and evolved till now. So pretty cool.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. That's one of the ones that I can't pronounce it. There's something cobra, the Chico cobra.
Yep.
I remember back in the 90s, I remember watching the X-Files. That was a whole special or just on that. Okay? And it always, lingered. And now we're, full circle now coming up, and it is considered one of the cryptids out there.
Yeah.
And what I have here, it says the term is goat sucker, and actually the origins is from Latin America, where the livestock would be torn up, and eyewitnesses say that it was this creature that would come and actually eat up the goat livestock and stuff like that. So again, who knows? What people have captured. We definitely can see evidence that something was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that all this stuff is. I think when we first came up with this topic, we were trying to figure something out that something outside the box. And this is definitely outside the box.
Absolutely.
Well, that's like even if you think about it, cryptids were probably like Greek mythology. You know what I mean? Probably goes so far back. I mean, it could be before Christ. When people were, the Egyptians and stuff, where they did their pictures and stuff on their walls.
Right.
And, they and the certain, that's how they wrote. Was by their pictures and stuff, and then you would see these certain things. So it could probably go all the way back as far as. And now they think and just if they were alive today, they'd probably think we were really crazy.
Right.
Because who would ever thought of a cell phone, right?
Oh my God. I often wonder what that would be like, bringing somebody back from, like you just said, from, even before Christ's time or thereabouts that time to now. That would be so bizarre.
Wouldn't it be great?
It's like I even asked my mother. My mother's 96; she'll be 97 in September. And I ask her all the time, like, I can't imagine what she has seen in her lifetime, because she was born in the Depression, and she says everything has a cycle, and she's seeing everything starting to go all into the cycles all over again. Yeah. And she's like, she's so afraid she's going to live in another Depression, So I can just imagine. And just the changes, alone, because she was born in Philadelphia and, and lived in Delaware, and, and it's like, when you think about what she saw from the Depression in Philadelphia, how the houses were, how the
absolutely
the city looked till today.
Yeah.
It's like mind-boggling.
It really is. Absolutely. I was taking care of a lady back in Connecticut. I was a CNA for a short time. I was her personal assistant, and she was born in 1928. She's still alive.
That's my mother.
Yeah, 1928. Yeah, and the same thing. But she was from the South. So it was, I love talking with her and listening to her because as she had dementia. So, before, for the most part, she was pretty good, I have to say. But just to listen to her talk about how it was and how it was, when I was taking care of her and, the different things had changed, like you just said, is just, mind-boggling for people of that age.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just can imagine, like, being in a coma and waking up 30 years later.
Yeah, no.
Even 5 years later.
Yeah, the way the things have changed so quickly. I mean, it's the same for my parents. My parents, 86 and 87, and unfortunately, neither one of them really got into the computers, which is tough for them now because my dad will say, "Well, can I call an Uber?" I was like, "Not unless you have a smartphone, and you only have a flip phone, so you can't do that." And so it's things like that they're like, I do all the ordering on Amazon for my mom. It's like, what do you, whatever she needs. But, it's things like that if you don't keep up with it, you kind of get blown away when you learn about it. And this goes right back to these cryptids. I mean, way back when, and they're still around to this day. It's, really.
I mean, back as far as, Greek mythology, to like the Renaissance.
Right.
I mean, we're going to things that, we've never even experienced.
No.
And here we're just talking about them for the first time.
Yeah. And I can't, for my mind, it's like, you just can't make this up. Well, I guess you could, but there had to be something. Yeah, well, right. I know people make up all kinds of, but for this that we're talking about for tonight, there had to be something that somebody saw, and that's what they build off of. So there's always that baseline for something or some truth of how these came about.
Right. And the different stories, though, so you have two different sightings, different parts of the world, but their accounts match up. The evidence that they saw, whatever the sightings are,
right,
too similar to be coincidental. So
right.
There has to be some type, like I said, some type of structure, some type of background to solidify, what they're saying.
Agreed.
But I was going to ask Karen, I'm sorry that Julian, I think it's your niece, was going to join us. But George tells me that she does study the cryptids. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it's really a shame because I really didn't even get a chance to talk to her too much about it because she's sick.
Aww.
Okay.
So,
how long has she been into it?
She's been, from what I understand, she's been doing this for a long time. I mean, she has some other people that she that she's like colleagues with, that kind of like us, and they have their podcasts and stuff, and every now and then she goes on with them, and they're really into cryptids and stuff like that. So
cool.
She really wanted to do this, but with her, what's going on with her, she just couldn't. So
I look forward to meeting her though in the future, though. Maybe
you guys will have to have her on when she's feeling better.
Yeah, because she does a lot of what we do, so too. So
there you go. Very cool.
So every one of these podcasts, we always end up talking about the ghost in George's basement and that portal down there. So George, tell us, do you have a cryptid hidden down there too? You have anything hiding in the stuff? No.
He has a fairy. He has a fairy, remember?
Oh, right.
Yes. He does have a fairy. It's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
we always tie something up to George's basement.
We do.
I just didn't know if we could tie this in there too.
And it always ends with me.
Comes back to my house.
Always, of which I'm not coming to. Love you guys. But that's so. I mean, I kid about it, and George knows that. But for me, that is just. I mean, what better place to be when you're a paranormal investigator to have a house that is alive, so alive, right?
Well, I'm not going to let cryptids off, but I ain't saying they're not real. But until I see one,
Sure.
then I believe it.
Yeah.
And if I see one that's bigger than me, I
Yeah.
hope he can run because I can.
I feel sorry for Paulette. She'd be burning stuff.
Hey, if she runs slow, I'm going to run right over her and keep right on going. She'll say, "You ran me down." I'm like, somebody's got to start the truck. Let's
I
go.
hope she hits in the back of the head right now.
She is. Go ahead, Paulette, get him.
She's like, no, she's a skinwalker. She's going to shit pretty soon.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
As you guys know me, I'm not afraid of anything, but if I see something like that, I think that would scare me a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah.
I saw something with fangs coming at me and big nails and drooling. I'm running, and I
I have
don't.
the news for you. If I went fishing and seen a merman, I'm cutting the hook.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pulling him in because I gotta check this thing out.
I'm with you on that one. Like, come here. Excuse me, I have some questions for you. I need to know. Is it true?
Can you sit still for a
Is it
picture, please?
true or is it true?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the things we learn.
But I watch some of these shows, like all these Bigfoot shows on TV. They build all these cages. They're out in the woods for months at a time. And they take these pictures, but when they show the picture, you only see like a shadow of something. I don't know what they're taking pictures of because there's no creature.
No, I
Right.
know.
And why is every single Bigfoot picture blurred? I've never seen one that does not come in. It's at least focused. Every single one is
That's
blurred.
true.
So
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
do that.
It's true.
I know.
And it's true. My dad had our neighbors have this. It's really cool. They have a covered bridge into their property, and my dad made for his friend out there, Bigfoot. He cut it all out of wood and painted it black. And so when you're coming through the covered bridge, Bigfoot is placed away from the bridge far enough, like you're not sure if it's a cutout or if it's real. And what do we like to do? We like to take the grandkids on the golf cart for a ride. They're like, "Nana, can we go for a ride on the golf cart?" And the little ones, it's like, "Sure, come on. You haven't seen Bigfoot yet." "What's that, Nana?" I said, "Hold on tight." Nana's gonna take you for a ride. Yep. Yeah. Nothing. I love grandkids. Get to tease them. Oh, no, this is good. Like I say, we always
Look, if I could have had grandchildren first, I would have never had children.
Yeah.
They're more fun.
Yeah, right.
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Oh, yep. I'm with you on that one. Oh my gosh, yeah. But then again, with me,
Yeah,
I got too many. I got 13 grandkids. Like, you're killing me.
See, that's our cryptids right there. All the little grandkids.
Yeah, that's it. And they are they're shape formers. Yeah, they. Goodness gracious. Good thing they're all cute. Ay, ay, ay. In fact, I'm a great auntie. My niece just had her first little girl today. So it's like, oh, I'm finally an auntie.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right, what else we got?
I'm just steady looking at this stuff. It's just, there are so many from different countries. It's just crazy. You know?
It just goes on. Yep.
Oh, you're going to love this one. There's one called, you heard of Moby Dick?
Yeah.
They got one that's called Moby Duck. I swear, I'm looking at it right now. It's called Moby Duck.
I can't.
I swear.
Like I said, you never know what you're going to come across out in the wild.
Wow.
I think there's one called a siren. It's like almost like a mermaid type creature.
Mm-hmm.
And her cry is supposed to lure men.
Yep. Sailors.
And sailors, right.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to see what time period it originated, but I can't see that right now. But yeah, that's another one I've heard before.
Yeah.
You can even have seafood that's called Moby Duck. How about that?
Wow.
Really?
All right. Wow.
Yeah, it's
It's
just,
chowder and seafood. There's even restaurants. There's even a song called Moby Duck.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, you
I
can.
can see the town where these are originated from, and they cash in on it. So everything is now focused around
Of
that
course.
sighting. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's a tourism thing or whatever. I mean, even though if the evidence is there, it's there, but still, they still have to heighten it more and more, so more people come,
Of
more people are
course.
looking for it,
Yep.
and then the town is definitely going to get known for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I looked up one now. It's called the Fallout Wiki. It's like a black body with a clear head with purple eyes. It has purple like flames coming out of its elbows.
Okay.
It's creepy looking.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Here's one. Looks like
So I said,
Spaghetti Man.
I mean, you never know though. Like I always say, you don't know who's watching you.
That's right.
You never know.
That's right. Now, the one for me that I really believe that there is something there is the Loch Ness Monster, originating back to Ireland, I guess, Ireland.
Right. I think it's like Scotland, Ireland, somewhere.
Yeah. That one, again, talking about the water and the depth of the water and the darkness of the water. And, we don't know everything that's down there, right?
Yeah, they said that they found the megalodon. It's bigger than a great white shark.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be one of the world's biggest sharks. They said they found another one.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if it's true enough. So
yeah. So, you just never know what's swimming around out there. Just keep your feet in the boat.
yeah, right.
Just don't hang them over.
If I can't see my feet, I don't like to get in the water.
Yeah, the waters there over there are dark, pretty but dark. Oh yeah.
And
But
we
I tell you, when you go out deep sea fishing, the water is so beautiful.
I bet.
Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't even imagine that it's
Wow.
the same.
Wow.
Right.
That's true.
But I'm thinking about 15, 20 years from now, all these drone sightings that we have, they're going to create some type of cryptid creature out of those drones.
Absolutely. 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 Oh my God, there's so many. Spring is for monsters, ancient rituals, and scary stories.
it's crazy.
Just
Just way too many things around.
I know, man. Crazy. Oh, but it's all good, and it's just another segment of unexplained discoveries. Excuse me. Which I find fascinating. You guys come up with great topics. And tonight was a good one.
George, we know what our next topic is, or we still have to discuss it?
I think I was talking to George, and I thought we could look into how pets react to spirits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah,
really...
I think when George first said it, I thought we were talking about, ghost cats, ghost dogs,
those
pets,
too.
Actually finding it.
Well, we could even look into those too.
Yeah.
What, ghost cats?
Just about there. I've been scratched several times. Got plenty of pictures. Don't know if it's from, animal or human, something that was human at one time. Who knows?
Oh, well.
But yeah, I'm open to any topic.
Okay.
Yep, we can talk about more.
I like
Yeah,
it.
send a
we
picture to you,
could
Deb.
put it together and do both same topic.
Perfect.
Okay.
No?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
And if anybody out
Deb, I'll
there
send
has
a
any...
ghost cat to you from my house.
I'm sorry?
We have a ghost cat. We caught a picture of a ghost cat in my basement.
Of course you do.
Yep. Here we go. Back to George's basement again.
Oh, you'll love it.
Here we go.
You know?
We framed out like the walls, but I didn't put the walls up at the time. And the cat's behind the 2x4, between the wall and the 2x4. It's a black and white cat, and it's peeking around, staring at us. We don't have a black and white cat.
Wow.
I thought you said, when you said framed it, I thought you were going to say you framed the
cat.
picture of
No,
it.
no, we framed out the basement to put the walls up, and it was behind the framing and the concrete block.
Wow.
Didn't I capture a picture somewhere of that too when I was in your basement? When
Yes, you did.
My early team.
Wow.
Yep.
It looked like it was underneath the steps. It looked like it was curled. Curled up like in a ball, and then the eyes were like glue. Were glowing.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
George.
Well, I have a dog. I have a dog that's here at my house. Not just my dog, but I have a dog that is here. His name is Jake. I know the previous owner. He lives near me, and I confirmed that was his dog. The Amazon delivery person took a picture of a when they drop off your stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody was home, so my door was closed, and there was Jake at the door.
That was the picture you shared with us in the email.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
George, I actually have a serious question for you for your house. When you were, purchasing the house and you did walkthroughs, you went in and saw the house. Did you have any feelings or any knowledge that there was paranormal activity in the house?
No.
It
all started. The lady that lived here before me, she had 14 cats and no litter box. Okay.
Oh Lord,
so the house had a nice aroma to it, so we had to clean all that out.
The ghosts away.
Wow.
We started tearing the house up, then everything started happening.
Wow. Okay. Oh, so you disturbed them. Okay, I got it. All right. Yeah. I was wondering if you had, even a sensation or anything, because, I have, I have walked through very old homes in Connecticut, and I have gotten that feeling of, I wonder what's here. Or, not so much, newer homes, but definitely the older homes in Connecticut that I've been through, I've gotten that feeling. So I was wondering if, you had, since you're more sensitive to, or even Paulette, who I think is more sensitive to the feelings, right? Is she the feelings and the smell?
Well, she can tell you just by walking by.
Right. Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen's the same way. Karen can do it too.
You too?
Yeah, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen people at George's. And they've even held the door open for George and my husband.
Wow.
The guy did.
Wow.
I didn't say anything because I was afraid they thought I was nuts.
Right.
I told my husband, and then he told George.
No, you I told you that time we were helping you move, and you didn't say nothing. I was like, "What's wrong?" You were like, "Nothing." So we go down and help him move, and then we go to dinner. She says, "Now that I'm not at your house, let me tell you what happened." I was like, "I knew something happened. I knew it."
Wow. Yeah.
They kept on fooling with my hair. It was long at the time, and I had it in a ponytail, and they kept fooling with my hair.
Wow. There you go. I'm telling you.
See, here it is. That's all circling right back to my house again.
He was very nice.
Tony, do you have anything that happens at your place? Do you have feelings? Do you have this, that? Do you get that as well?
Sometimes. We live in a historic house in Middletown, built back in the 1800s. And, we definitely hear when we're up in the top floor, we definitely hear footprints up in the attic, footsteps up in the attic.
Wow.
Yeah.
You definitely feel like you're being watched at times. And there's times where we don't feel anything at all.
Right.
I know quite a few times when I fall asleep on my recliner, I'll wake up because I definitely heard something walk towards me, but it is an old house. What I will tell you that does really get me is behind the house is an old carriage house, where they used to keep the horse and buggy.
Yeah.
And I go in there, and the hair stares up on end, and very steep staircase to go to the second floor of the carriage house. Like when you get up there, it's just a very eerie feeling. I mean, I have to have my son come over because I won't go upstairs by myself. Either because of wild animals might come, because we definitely have our share of possums and groundhogs in there.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's just you get this weird
You
feeling.
get that feeling.
I would love to clean it up. I would love that to be our headquarters for our team. That what else would it be a better place to have your monthly meetings and stuff?
Absolutely. Oh wow.
You definitely have stuff here. And I have a 12-year-old, and he definitely says he feels something here. And he's just not getting into it, but when we first moved here, he's definitely said he saw stuff or heard stuff. There's stuff that's here. Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Wow. Well, I have to say, my house is boring. I have here.
As far as you know.
As far as I know, you're right, Karen.
The lady that lived here, her son stopped by one day, and he rang the doorbell, and he asked if he could walk through the house. So we let him walk through the house, and he's telling us all these different stories, which explains what goes on in this house.
Right.
And there's 3 people that died in this house. One in the living room, one in the kitchen, and one in the back bedroom.
And that was never disclosed.
Nope.
Well, really?
Oh, you could see your realtor for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
See, somebody knew. Somebody knew something prior to.
Yeah, you're supposed to disclose. You're supposed to
Yes.
disclose all that
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's in the. If you look in the contracts, it says right there. Did anybody die in your home? Did every,
Wow.
you have to disclose it.
So
I'm not telling them nothing. I'm packing up and rolling. I'm not saying a word.
Well, as far as you know, nobody died there. They're already dead.
they're just coming to visit.
I'm just going to say,
Like, hey,
when you all
guys.
buy the house, don't bring a lot of stuff because it's half full before you get there.
Look at this guy just moved in. Let's go visit. Oh my gosh! Wow.
A lot of times, if you collect antiques too,
Yeah.
you can bring something home with an antique or whatever. I have a lot of family hand-me-downs from everybody dies and they give me their crap, and I feel bad and can't say no, so I end up with their stuff. And I have one room that my granddaughter doesn't like to go to because she says the scary ladies in there, and I think it's my grandmother.
Oh wow.
There's stuff of hers in there, and
Wow.
and I have a clock that was I have a cuckoo clock that actually was given to me to hold, and I had it repaired because it was broken, and it kept quitting on us. And my sister, every time she went by that clock, like her necklace would come off her neck, or and then she says, she goes, I just don't like that clock. I don't like that clock. There's something wrong with that clock. And here, the clock was attached to somebody who had died, and the clock had been stolen.
Oh wow.
And he wanted his clock back. How do you give somebody dead their clock back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to get somebody here so we could work on figuring out what to do with this clock. And we finally came to the conclusion that if he would be nice, he could stay here with his clock.
Aww.
Because there wasn't even any family members to give the clock to.
That's crazy.
And so I made a deal with him that I would, if I turned the clock on and the clock stopped, that I would do something to get rid of it. But if the clock continued, I would, if it continued to work, I would keep it where it is. And every time I went to get, so I said, I'll give you a week and then I'll come back and I'll turn the clock on. And if it stops, that's what we'll do. Well, every time I go over to the clock, I would hear not yet. So I would walk away, and then in another week I go over to it and he'd say not yet. And finally, about, I guess it was 2 months later, he said okay, and the clock works.
Wow.
So apparently he's good, and he was told he could stay here as long as he would behave himself.
Wow.
That's
cool.
funny. That's funny you say that about a clock, because Paulette would tell you this. My granddaughter, Riley, she's 3. I got a grandfather clock that my mom and dad gave me when I got married the first time. Okay, that thing used to work great. Well, it stopped working for the last 6 months. Couldn't get it to work. My granddaughter was over here a month ago. All she did was put her hand on the glass of the clock. It's been running ever since, and I haven't wound it up in a month, and it's still running.
Wow.
Yep, it's still running.
Wow.
So
That's
somebody
crazy.
likes your granddaughter and wanted the clock to work for her.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But it's still running. So.
All right. Well, good. I can't. We could just, you'd really have to write a book about your house. Definitely. Well, guys, this has been another great conversation. I enjoy this segment. I look forward to it every month, and I look forward to next month when we talk about cat spirits. Is that what we're going with?
Pets
Cat
and
spirits
spirits.
and reaction from
Okay.
animals. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
pets and spirits.
very cool. Yeah. All right. So, everybody, this is the Unexplained Discoveries Paranormal Investigation team of George, Tony, and Karen. And thank you so much for being here tonight. And look forward to next month, which will be February already. Holy schmolies.
I don't know, time flies.
It does. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.